Just come here. Come closer. Told you to stop running your mouth.
Let's do things up.
Okay, I had to get a little physical because you've been running your mouth. And we're not doing that this year. This year, we're definitely going to move in silence. I want everyone to say that with me. Move in silence. And it's not about secrecy, it's about privacy. It's about there are certain things in your life that everyone just can't know. There are certain insecurities that God is walking you through, that your ancestors are trying to help you heal, that are special and that are private. This social media culture of literally recording every single second of your life, sharing the most intimate parts of your life with strangers, and putting your insecurities and your weaknesses out into the stratosphere, into the frequency for people to be able to abuse and use and manipulate. We're not doing that in 2025. Something in my face. I'm really not talking to y'all. When I say y'all, it's so funny because I'm literally talking to myself. And what I'm noticing is people like mediocrity and they like drama. When a mediocre person realizes that someone whom they are completely cognizant is farther along than them in any capacity, whether it's creativity, intellectually, financially, or spiritually, they love to see it. Even if they don't want your demise, for some reason, once they get you in that mediocre pool of warm waters, now they can play with you. And when I say play, now y'all have something in common. And it's the spirit of complaining, I've noticed. And we're just talking and complaining and talking and gossiping. And it catches like wildfire. And it can really dismantle so much that you have going on for yourself, that God has going on for you, that spirit has going on for you. And I just kept hearing God when I found myself in these circles. I kept hearing my ancestors, stop talking. Stop addressing every single big feeling that you have. Let it pass. Let it pass like cars. Our thoughts and our feelings sometimes, we had to treat them like vehicles that are literally just passing you by, passing you by, passing you by, passing you by. And you don't have to hop in every car. You don't have to share your business. You don't have to overshare. You don't have to talk about every single thing that you're going through. I want you to surrender to silence. And I want this season to be about listening. And I'm going to challenge myself. Today is February 9th. I'm going to challenge myself and I'm challenging you on a 30-day challenge. You're not gossiping. You're not asking anyone for advice. You're not oversharing. And you are not just talking just to talk. For this 30-day challenge, February 9th to March 9th, we are choosing our words like they are our last words. Like we have none to spare. And surrender. Everything doesn't need you. You don't have to address every single thing. That's what I'm learning. People know what they're doing. 1 + 1 is 2. 1 + 1 is 2. It's not 60,049 and 7 million. You know what I mean? 1 + 1 is 2. If you do something that is deceitful, dishonest, insensitive, you know the probability of my being offended is high. So if you don't address it, if you don't apologize, I just have to take it at face value. What I'm learning about the industry, y'all, I'm an actress. Y'all are going to be getting so much content this year. Is really going to be insane. I got these dreads and it's giving very much so I would never wear my hair like this. Cookies. Never. Again, 1 + 1 is 2. And I am in character, and my character is a homeless character. My co-star is brilliant. And I learned a lot from him. And I love the administrative, the crew. It's been a special journey, but I am the only Black girl here. And so there is this essence of isolation that no one here can identify with. I'm really alone. And I find that the loneliness creates an insecurity, and I just want to connect. And so I'll use anything, or I'll allow others to use anything to connect with me because I'm so lonely. And so I think at the root of oversharing, at the root of always talking, at the root of always overexposing ourselves, there are some deeper underlying issues. I'm desperate for connection. And so at the onside of the possibility of connection, no matter what the onside is, i.e. gossiping or just negative conversations, I'm indulging and I'm lacking discipline, and I'm finding myself around a lot of mediocrity. People that just want to talk. People that just want to talk. And this industry is really about connections. So you have to watch what you say, who you say it to, because it's going to get back to such and so. And we know how Whisper Down the Lane ends up. You told these people I like her pants because they're pink and green. By the time it gets to her, you done call her the B word. And so I'm using the reference of my industry just to, this is my experience with the power of silence. Shut your mouth. I'm not going to do it again, but shut your mouth this year. I'm talking to you, India. Shut your mouth. My mom used to say, if you have nothing nice to say, then say it with me. Say nothing at all. Stop talking shit about people. Go directly to the source. You got an issue? Go straight to that person. Yo, this did not make me feel good. If you don't feel safe, and that was my problem, I didn't really feel safe. I told you I'm the only Black girl here. I don't really feel seen or represented. And I'm going to have to make peace with that because this industry is dominated by white men. White men who see themselves all around. And so in a lot of ways, they just don't identify with isolation in that sense. They don't identify with being a minority, typically on a set, because it's male dominated, specifically white men. And so this is the loneliest journey of my life. That just made me so sad. And I've just been trucking along, keeping my head up, keeping my chin up. I've been watching a lot of scripture, doing a lot of prayer, creating a lot of content on my downtime. If you can't be silent, pray. If you feel like it's not the time to be silent and you want to speak up, but it's just not conducive for you to speak up, surrender. If you struggle with silence, pray. If you have an itch, an intuitive notion to speak up, but you know it's not a healthy dynamic, surrender. This is to every Black girl in a male-dominated industry. surrender. Surrender to their ideologies about you. Surrender to their perspectives about you. Surrender to the fact that we are paving a long ass way. This shit is stacked against us in ways we can't even quite fathom yet. Surrender. Surrender and get to the next gig. Surrender and get to the next step. Surrender and make the next connection. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to prove anything. You don't have to respond to every notion that is assumed about you, to every negative or derogative comment, to every insensitive disposition that someone takes. We have a duty to the young Black women behind us in this industry, and quite frankly, in every industry, to pave the way with a sincere lack of emotion. What I'm noticing, baby, is this is not a battle about feeling. This is a battle of the mind. It's who can outthink who. And the greatest way to master the mind is silence. When you take time to be silent, you give yourself the power to surf through all the thoughts that you have. You have that pool of mediocre people who have a lot of thoughts in your head that are running, and then you have your authentic self in relationship with your universe, your God and creator, and your ancestors, right? That's the pool you want to play in. But because our brains are like sponges, everything that comes at us, everything that we hear and see, the mind is processing it. And silence will give you the power to process who you really are and how you really feel. Emotions are a trick of the enemy that I think Disney has a huge hand in cultivating, this idea that the relationships that women have with their feelings are very impulsive, that we are dominated by our feelings, that we gossip. I want you to have at least 7 thoughts before you speak. I don't want you to suppress, and I do not want you to weaponize silence. Those are different parties. Those are different pools. I want you to have a deep and powerful relationship with your mind, and the way to do that is through silence. We are very powerful beings. And when we take on journeys to break generational curses, to advance the lineages of our families, there is a target on our backs, energetically, spiritually, and emotionally. And silence is our greatest weapon. And you'll be able to quickly distinguish, oh, that was my ego and that was my ancestor. Your ego is playing from a place of one victimhood. My thoughts that keep the core of where my destiny is and that challenge me and that I have resistance to are coming from my ancestors. One of my mentors, one of my greatest mentors, he said, when you have resistance, you go toward it. You never run away from things that you are fearful of. Let's put us, a little shh. Of course, we're not running to danger, guys. Of course not. It's the idea of doing things that we don't want to do, that we know better ourselves. Your ego wants you to be a victim. Why? Because being a victim takes all ownership off of you, the individual, and subsequently oppresses growth and obsesses over familiarity, comfortability, stagnation. Your ego wants you where you are because it's comfortable. But your ancestors and your authentic self, your connection, the inner God, your connection to source, it wants you to constantly outgrow yourself and always play from a place of love. If you have an inclination, an idea, the last thing you need to do is run to 20 different people who have never left their hometown and seek solace, affirmation, or inspiration. Please stop. Shut your mouth. We cannot overtalk this year. We cannot be in the spirit of gossip. Gossip will not advance us. It is a cloak that the enemy wears to connect with you, grab you by the hooves, and pull you in the darkest pit ever. And have people not wanting to work with you, not wanting to advance your career, not speaking highly of you. India, don't say that. India, don't say that. India, don't say that. Don't participate in this conversation. It's really a discipline. And we don't have time. The time that we spend talking crap, feeling sorry for ourselves. And I'm not talking about healing conversations where we're getting to a solution for a deeper issue. I'm talking about salivating over drama and how he did this to me and she did this to me and I'm going to do that to her. This is the year of the snake. Coochie Chocolate. This is the year of the snake. And the snake sheds. And I am going to shed oversharing. I'm speaking that over my life. I'm going to shed gossiping. And at the on-site of a conversation that I know is not representative of my higher authentic self, I'm going to be silent. And I'm not trying to be spiteful. I'm trying to be close to God. I'm trying to make sure I don't talk myself out of my blessings. And I want the same for you. God bless America. May the forces be with us. Thank you. And I do want to say, subscribe. Like this video, share this video. Let me know what your favorite takeaway was in the comments. Let me know what you feel like you're shedding as this is the year of the snake. Let me know what you feel like you're leaving behind. I know for sure I'm leaving behind oversharing. I'm leaving behind over talking. I'm leaving behind gossiping. I'm leaving behind unnecessary usage of the words that I have access to. My voice is given very much so rest. It's given very much so get some sleep. It's given very much so this. That's what it's giving. I really hope this resonates with y'all. I had this epiphany, and I had this on my back because it really makes you a warrior. It makes people want to follow you. It makes people trust you when you do speak. I mean, it's rich. It's given very much so rich, and I love it. It's given very much so rich, and I love it. And I love you. And I want to share this knowledge. I'm in the spirit of wanting to share the knowledge that I have. In this industry especially, you cannot trust anybody. Jackie is with Paulie. Paulie is with Sasha. Sasha is with Johnny. And Johnny is with Cynthia. Cynthia is with Jameer. When I say everybody's connected, everybody is connected. So if you want a tip for this industry, black girl, shut your mouth immediately. When they come in the trailer, the Key King, the 2-bit jokers are Key King. Guess who's sitting idly by? You are. I am. And people are always going to want to work with us because we're drama free. Coming and doing our jobs, coming and giving every single thing that we have to give to this character. Showing up no matter how inconvenient it is. That's what people are going to say. Not that you were gossiping, not that you over-talked and were overbearing and couldn't get a word in. And what you'll find when you are listening is how intriguing people are, how beautiful humanity is. Or not. Because people will reveal themselves. And so that is this segment on the power of listening. Please share this with anyone that you feel like needs this message. Pray over your mouth. Pray over your voice. Pray over your spirit. Pray over your thoughts. I want you to see them thoughts pass you right by. Just passing on by. Yes,